Episode 304, Dustin Breakbill alongside Leo Biaz. Hey, Leo, is Otto Porter a king?
Wait. I think he's not.
Okay.
And
breaking news.
Yeah, because we uploaded that video on YouTube.
Yes.
And I still can't believe Shaq actually said or thought that Otto Porter is on the Kings.
I know, it's kind of amazing that I saw that the other day. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, Shaq?
I was like, wait, is he on the
though.
Kings?
I can believe it a little bit. So it's interesting, though. But welcome to 304, Dustin.
My thing is, where is he getting his news from?
Of Cowbell Kingdom?
No, he's not getting it from us.
No,
because we provide frontline coverage.
We do
only.
provide
Look at
frontline
that.
coverage. But I don't know where he's getting it from. Maybe he's getting it from LeVar Ball.
Maybe, because LeVar is pretty convincing.
Yeah, he is.
And if he puts it into existence, it probably happens.
Well,
for you know.
Shaq does have that diss track out, though.
Oh, my gosh.
I haven't heard it yet, though.
Great.
Is it great?
No, my gosh. It's so good.
Is it?
It's so good.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah. Speaking of diss tracks.
Kyrie
and LeBron. Has anybody heard that one yet?
Oh, my gosh. You know what? Let's play it right now.
Come on,
man.
E-Man.
Come on,
Behind the camera, as always.
Running
the systems for us. But
yeah,
how have you been, Leo?
I've been good, man. I mean, is it...
Any diss tracks out for you?
Is it playing?
It's
All
playing.
right, guys. So, Y'all goes into it right now. Go ahead. We'll give you like 10 seconds. He's not Chris Paul, he said.
He said he's not Chris Paul. That was a great line.
Guys. All right, guys.
Oh.
Dear Bron, I wrote you, but you only subtweeting. I left my cell, email.
So yeah, this video popped out today. It's on some YouTube channel. We'll share it on Cowbell Kingdom later on, but it's awesome, isn't it?
It's on. People are listening to it right now. So, but yeah, guys, you guys can watch that video later. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the video, and what do you think will happen? I mean, is Kyrie gonna stay? Even with all this drama?
There's reports now that the Raptors are interested. There's reports that the Clippers are interested. Everybody should be interested. The guy dropped 57 against the Spurs. Yeah. Spurs should be interested. No pun intended. It's in the song. He dropped 40 in the finals around there. So that's in the song.
And he also said that LeBron is leaving for LA to go play with Lonzo.
So that's
very
in
interesting
the song.
takes.
Also, what else is in the song is
a shout out to Stephen A. Smith and Brian Windhorst.
Yeah, that's what I say. The Brian Windhorst line was awesome because that's LeBron's guy.
But yeah, guys, I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the show so far. We want more people to join it. For the people that will be listening to it on Audio Boom, please leave us a review on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn Radio. We're still trying to get on Spotify, if they're even accepting the applications. We don't know if they are yet. Some people say they are, some people say they're not. But if you have a couple of minutes, please leave us a review if you're enjoying the show or not. That means the world to us.
Well, let's get to the big story of this week, Leo, and that's the NBA schedule is out. Last week on the podcast, we talked about basically the release of the big games on the networks and holiday games. But this week, earlier in the week, the schedule came out, and the Kings have their first opponent, and that's against the Houston Rockets on October 18th, a Wednesday night. You excited for that one? Seeing Chris Paul come back to California? Well, the first game's going to be against the Warriors for Chris Paul and the Rockets, but James Harden now moving back to the shooting guard.
You know how excited I am that I'm beginning to grow a James Harden beard?
Yeah.
Y'all see it?
It's pretty exciting.
Y'all see it? Hey, I've never done this, man. But anyways, I'm super excited, man. James Harden, Chris Paul, maybe Carmelo Anthony.
Yes.
We don't know yet.
Yeah. Scott Perry has to work that out.
I would love to watch that Kings Rockets opening night with the best fans in the NBA by far. I can't wait, man.
I think the first basically 7 games are going to be interesting because looking at the schedule, the first one against the Rockets, we all want to see what Chris Paul is going to do with James Harden now in that offense and Mike D'Antoni. Dallas, the second game in Dallas, Dennis Smith Jr., who I talked about a couple weeks ago, maybe being the Rookie of the Year, against De'Aaron Fox. That's going to be a rookie matchup. Point guard, two guys who are legit that showed it in Summer League. Denver, our old friend Mike Malone. That's always a fun matchup.
That's always a fun matchup.
Then Phoenix, we kind of have history of Phoenix. It's interesting what they're going there too. And then Boogie.
Their young nucleus. And who else?
Papa, yeah.
Papa versus Dragon,
Yeah.
which they always get into it. They got into it at Summer League
I
out
saw
of
that
all
one,
places.
Then we got our boy Boogie, your boy Boogie, comes back to town.
Man, Boogie,
on
shout
October
out to you, man.
26th.
I can't wait to go say what's up to my boy, man.
On TNT, so that game's going to be interesting. That's a 7:30 tip. But basically all the games for the Kings this year is sliding back to 7 p.m. So
I love it.
You love it as a guy that covers the Kings?
Yeah, I love it because we provide so much content on game night, on game day overall, and we literally get out at 1 or 2 a.m. all the time. By the time we get home, it's 3 a.m., and you're like, my God, we got to do this again.
Then you have to wake up in a couple hours.
Yeah, so it helps a lot. Like, that half hour helps tremendously because people tend to go to sleep at 11, 11:30. Now we'll be able to have the interviews out by 11 or 11:30 as opposed to doing an interview at 11 p.m. You know what I mean?
Then one of the Sunday first games also is against Washington. Scott Brooks, who's from this area in Stockton, played at Delta as a transfer, comes back home.
I can't wait.
He's a great coach, too, so it's going to be a great matchup. And seeing John Wall.
So give us, you were saying that the Kings are the only team that's going to play like this.
They're traveling around 12,000 miles this year.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's crazy. I believe that's the 9th most. Email was telling me earlier in the NBA this season, which is just crazy. Miami probably might have the most because it's because Miami where they're located. Timberwolves Timberwolves will travel the most, which is going to be interesting because you think they're going to be a top 5 seed in the NBA playoffs next year.
Yeah.
But it's crazy looking at the schedule. As I mentioned, Dallas, Denver, Phoenix on the road, 2 games back home. Then Indiana, Boston, Detroit. Then back home against Detroit, Oklahoma City, Philadelphia. The Knicks back on the road again, Washington, Atlanta. Then back on the road against the Portland home series on a Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
So basically
LA on ESPN.
LA at home on ESPN on a Wednesday night. So that's again.
That's my favorite matchup. Like I really
right
want
before
to see
Thanksgiving
Lonzo
too.
Ball, De'Aaron Fox. You guys know I'm a huge fan of both players. Lonzo Ball is the type of guy that will make everyone around him better. Luke Walton, as a matter of fact. I think it was yesterday that he has a chance to be as good as Kobe, that anything in life is possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, those are big shoes to fill.
It is a big shoe to fill.
But Lonzo Ball is more than capable of doing it. And if Luke Walton believes so, that gives Lonzo confidence to go out there, show the world what he's all about. And, when he comes to sack, you're going to hear a lot of boos because it's a nice growing rivalry. Once again, I've said this in the past and on Twitter. I said Laker fans, for the most part, they don't really view the Kings as a huge rival.
Same.
Because Kings fans, that's the biggest rival for the Kings.
Beat LA.
Because they couldn't beat them in the early 2000s. So I agree. It's a rivalry because they play in the same division. But when you ask Laker fans, for the most part, most of them will say our biggest rivals are the Boston Celtics, especially because of the
history
of the 80s. You had 84, 85, 86, 87, and
then back to 2010 when
Kobe in the Big Three
against Doc Rivers.
I was watching actually on ESPN 30 for 30 the 80s where it was Magic, Mikel, Bill Walton, Danny Ainge. I mean,
James Worthy.
These series were amazing.
Michael
you had
Cooper.
Kareem, Michael Cooper, Kareem. You had Magic,
Michael Thompson.
Oh my gosh! I mean, it was amazing
stars
to
all
watch.
over that.
It was amazing
Kurt
to
Rambis,
watch.
Yeah. So that's always a fun rivalry, the Kings and Lakers. But I try to tell people in Los Angeles do not care about what the Kings are doing.
Yeah.
They don't. I'm sorry.
Let's be honest.
Let's face it. Those early 2000 Laker teams could be some of.
Oh, and look at
found something on
Siri.
the web.
Siri's trying to look for things on the web as I talk. That's a good
sound plug.
Intelligence phone right there.
But,
intelligence voice, man.
But
artificial intelligence, y'all.
The thing I was talking about is like the early 2000s. Those are some of the best NBA teams ever. Those Lakers teams. Look at the roster. It was stacked.
It was stacked.
So
that was showtime.
That's
what the Lakers are trying to do with Lonzo Ball at the helm now. They want him to be Magic Johnson, right?
Yeah, they do want him to be Magic.
And Magic wants him to break all his records.
Yes, so that was Magic's pick. So it's going to be interesting. Also, the Clippers are going to be an interesting matchup this season because it's always fun watching the Clippers versus
the Clippers have a lot of good players.
Yeah, they lost
Obviously,
one great player.
Yeah, it's going to hurt losing a great player.
But they've replaced them with two solid point guards.
I agree that they're still a playoff team barring injury.
And I don't know what's going on with Danilo, so punching another player in off season in Italy or somewhere around. I think it was Italy, right? So it's crazy. That's always a fun matchup. But you know what? The other matchup in Philadelphia. the number one picks.
Oh my god,
that's what I'm gonna call them from now on. The
Markelle Fultz.
Some people I think are calling them the Fab Five, also something like that.
Markelle Fultz
Fab
against
Five,
De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
That's
Ben Simmons too.
Ben Simmons against
JJ Redick's on that team now too as a veteran.
Oh my gosh, JJ's on that team.
It's going to be a fun matchup.
The process on that team.
If you look at them, they kind of mirror each other, kind of.
They do.
The Kings and the Philadelphia.
They both have a lot of international players.
International players. They also have a lot of veterans kind of on the team too to help out the rookies. But they have these rookies who we haven't really saw yet. We haven't seen Ben Simmons.
No.
We haven't seen Fultz. We haven't seen who else on that team.
So you think Dennis Smith will beat Ben Simmons for Rookie of the Year, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I just think
the
guy's special. Something about him.
Okay.
And Dirk's willing to give the guy the chance. He said it basically this year. The reason I came back for my 20th year is because I want to help this team get back to the glory land. It's going to be hard in the West, but
it's going to be very difficult.
I think they should redo the divisions soon. But that's another story for another day.
They should definitely go 1 through 16, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think the NHL and NBA should do that.
Yeah, for sure.
To be honest, because it needs to shake stuff up. But what other matchups are on your mind?
No, again, Philly to me is a great matchup because we just ran a story on Cowbell Kingdom talking about the Kings potentially becoming the world's team. But when you look at that team, they have a lot of great pieces. They got Simmons.
Australian,
their power forward, the guy that was going to be Rookie of the Year. Then they have the process. So they have a lot of they have the guy that they drafted from last year with Ben Simmons.
Oh yeah, don't forget Nick Stauskas is still on that team too.
Stauskas is Canadian.
Hey, Tyler Anderson or whatever your name is.
So they have a lot. They have a lot of international flavor on that team
Amir
as well.
Johnson's on that team too, so Joel Embiid.
Is he Canadian?
Is Amir Canadian? I have to
I don't know if he is.
He's a great player. No, he's from Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's from LA.
But he's a solid veteran.
Yeah, but they definitely have as many players as the Kings do. Obviously,
Okafor too. So
obviously the Kings having Bogdan, Buddy, Scal, Papa. They have Costa.
Jared Bayless is still on.
Costa was born in Columbus, Ohio, but his roots are Greek. His father is Greek. His mom is Greek. Very, very, very smart guy. One of the best human beings you'll ever see. I love Costa. I believe Costa will be the starting center on opening night, alongside Scala Bicier. We'll talk about lineups later in the show, but right now, a schedule.
Oops, sorry.
If you had 3 matchups, Dustin, which matchups would be ranked 1, 2, and 3?
I want to see them versus Minnesota.
Okay, that's one.
Cat, Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, there's so many great matchups this year.
There's Andrew Wiggins. It kind of Jimmy Butler. So that team's gonna be fun to watch.
Okay, that's one.
Who else?
2?
Let me look at the schedule real quick.
Okay.
I think Portland's going to be fun to watch as always because the point guards.
Portland number 2.
It's going to be interesting.
Damian Lillard against
McCollum,
Fox.
Fox and Hield. So it's going to be those two against each. Hield and Fox against.
I agree.
Dame and CJ, which CJ is always awesome.
So what's number 3?
The Clippers. It's
always. You're obsessed with LA.
It's not obsession with LA.
You know why? It's because you love Jerry West.
No, but I think it's. The Lakers, okay, they've been down for years, but something recently about the Kings and the Clippers, it's like this animosity against each other.
That was because DeMarcus on
it was because of DeMarcus. It's going to be interesting, and Chris Paul not there, but I still think there's something there a little bit. It's about basically it's the 2 teams in the division who always sit in the back seat. Have always been in the back seat usually. I think it's a little bit of competition too, and then of course Doc Rivers makes it fun, and Dave Yeager makes it fun. So I think. Those 2, but what do you what teams do you think is on your list?
So I got L.A., Milwaukee, and Philadelphia.
Why Philadelphia?
Well, obviously because of their young nucleus. I just can't wait to watch that team play. And the Greek Freak is one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player in the league. And anytime he comes to town, like he did last year, he just put a shellacking on the Kings, and I was mesmerized by this dude. Like, this guy is the real deal and will be the king of the East once LeBron leaves to L.A. next year.
Do you think he'll be out of Milwaukee in a couple of years?
No, I think they're going to build around him. He's going to be convinced to be. Honestly, it's going to be LeBron all over again. He's going to lead the Bucks to the finals 6 years in a row.
They're getting a new arena too, stadium arena.
Arena, yeah. Kyrie, if I'm Kyrie, I want to go to Milwaukee and play with the Greek Freak. They're both super young. That'd be fun to watch for a lot of years.
And Jabari Parker, who hasn't really.
Jabari's a hell of a player. And
he hasn't reached potential yet.
And it's unfortunate because he's always injured.
But when he always plays, he's always 100%.
He's so effective.
Yeah,
he's so effective.
Yeah, like he'll put everything into the game. That's why I think sometimes his body rejects it a little bit because he puts all his effort into that game. And I think there's so much potential there still for him if he can get back to healthy, that he could be a solid member of that team, a solid role player.
And I do want to mention that the Cowbell Kingdom YouTube channel, guys, we're going to start doing 3-on-3 series, and we're going to start inviting people to play Emmanuel and myself live. It's going to be broadcasted, so get your 2K skills on it. If you're on NBA Live, get your skills on NBA Live because we just downloaded a demo yesterday. I love it. I'm super high on that game. I'm still waiting to see what NBA 2K18 looks like, but right now I can tell you NBA Live looks good. They're definitely making a comeback. They put Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman in there, and they literally make you watch everything they had to say, which is kind of funny because I feel like they were acting for that segment. But overall, I can't wait to see how they both grow and continue to grow. The graphics are getting better. I can't wait to see you guys. Hopefully, you guys comment and join the conversation and actually want to play us live. It's going to be on YouTube. I can't wait for that. And this podcast is sponsored by Valley Tire Center, guys. You guys will watch a little promo right now on the screen. Definitely give them a follow on Instagram. They always do random NBA ticket giveaways. You guys should definitely guys. They're great people. The owner's a great dude. Support the businesses that make our lot better, right?
Yeah, it's a great sponsor, and thank you for helping us get this podcast on air because that's what makes it possible.
Absolutely.
But okay, everybody's expecting. We're talking about the schedule right here on Cowbell Kingdom, episode 304. DeMarcus coming back to national televised game.
Game too. There's so many games.
There are so many games, but that's I think the main one on the schedule right now. Because I think there's.
Scores 25 points. I'm not gonna say he's gonna score 50 like everyone else is saying.
You think there's still animosity there?
Of course, I think it's good for the Kings and for DeMarcus to get this game out the way. You know, play it all out.
Video tribute, you believe?
Yes, and the fans will give him a standing ovation. But once the game starts, he's the enemy.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're not gonna cheer for him because this is Kings Nation, and they're gonna cheer on their current centers and power forwards. So I'm gonna want to see Scal just destroy him. Like that's what I want to watch. And obviously it's not gonna happen. No. But that's what I want to watch.
Yeah, and it's gonna be an interesting matchup, I believe too. And also, I think Buddy Hield wants to prove something to New Orleans. Also.
Oh, that's the other storyline.
Yeah, that's the other
right
storyline about that.
Him playing against his old team as well, and showing that what y'all made a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm the real deal. I'm going to average 25 this year. That's the type of approach that I want him to actually do, or that's the approach that I want him to take against the Pelicans.
And a lot of Kentucky on that court that night too. So
a lot. Rajon Rondo.
Yeah, so
he's going to want to put a shot on the Kings as well.
It's going to be interesting because Scal, you got
because the Kings pretty much told him bye-bye.
Yeah, basically. So it's Scal. You got all these Kentucky players. Anthony Davis, we haven't even mentioned yet, probably the best player on the court. So it's going to be interesting to even see if maybe John Calipari, I don't know where they're playing that night, Kentucky. But maybe he'll make an appearance. He does that sometimes.
Maybe. For sure, because there's a lot of Kentucky bloodlines in there.
Yeah, some Big Blue Nation fans might be watching that one that night on TNT. It's national televised game too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which 12 of them are on TV this year for the Kings.
That's good. That's good. That just shows that the national media is beginning to believe in what the Kings are doing as far as a culture change. Obviously, what happened last week with Zebo, it's not going to help, guys. No. Again, he put himself in a very, very tough situation. Something that shouldn't have happened. But again, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Do you think it's a big of a deal?
No, I don't think.
I mean, it's weed. At the end of the day,
it's his first offense.
I'll say this: stay off the weed. How Stephen A. Smith says, right? Just stay off the weed, bro. Just to stop with that. It's silly. He's still going to command respect in the locker room because he's a hell of a veteran. And the guys, being a basketball player in high school, that's something that guys will just laugh at, like, you got caught with weed. And to me, that's what it's going to be like.
Yeah, and it's his first offense in 10 years. So
I think so.
Something around there, like his Portland Trailblazers early days were bad, but not after that. He's cleaned up. So, also, Oklahoma City comes to town on a Tuesday night.
Paul George
and
Russell Westbrook, the MVP of the league.
We're talking about some of the games on the schedule that might be interesting early part of the season.
E-Man, what's your top 3?
Yeah, what's your top 3 games of the...
Real quick.
Rockets.
Okay, Rockets.
Home
opener.
Okay.
Lakers, Pelicans.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, Lakers Pelicans. That's a good series.
E-Man can't wait to watch DeMarcus Cousins.
Kings open up
He's
against
going to tell him to unblock him on Twitter.
Oh, you're blocked on Twitter?
Yeah, dude.
They open up the season against Houston. They closed against Houston, too, at home. So that's also an interesting one. I know schedules and predicting schedules hard, but what do you make of the Kings season?
It's definitely a very tough schedule. They're going to play a lot of road games early on, which means that they're going to have a lot of home games later on throughout the season.
Those veterans are going to help those rookies understand that early on
Correct.
in this season. You got Vince Carter, you got Zebo, you got George Hill.
So the young guns will get a nice taste of what it's all about, playing in the big boys league, right?
Spinning in hotels every couple nights.
The NBA life.
Flying.
So I rather have the young guys get this out the way now, and for them to struggle early on, and for them to start little by little understanding how this league is rigorous and it's going to take a toll on your body. But if you understand that at an early stage, they'll learn to eat better, to train smarter, and to ultimately just be the best version they can be.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting early part of the season. A lot of the first part's kind of like, okay, you go Dallas to Denver and Phoenix, which is easy kind of flights, but then you come home against New Orleans and Washington, then you go to Indiana, Boston, Detroit. So that's gonna be a little taste of what they're gonna have to do, 3 games on the road, 2 games at home, 3 on the road. So it's gonna be interesting, but I like this NBA starting the season earlier.
I love it.
And ending it earlier because we don't have to wait till June something to end the season.
When's the last game?
The last game is April. Drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please.
April 11th on a Wednesday night.
April 11th. Do they play April 8th?
They play April 9th in San Antonio, April 6th against Memphis.
And I asked everybody because that's
April 3rd against
Phoenix
and April 1st against LA.
My birthday. That's my birthday. They always tend to play on April 8th, but you know what? They play on the 9th, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah, in San Antonio, so if you want to go to Texas.
I'm going to Texas, boys. I'm going back to Texas.
Get some Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex
but
out there,
also
baby.
Another game to look on the schedule as there's a lot of Memphis in the Sacramento, I think, like the kind of culture-wise.
Yeah.
The grind city-wise.
Hopefully Ben McLemore,
He'll
gets
be back
better
by then.
from his injury and those 12 weeks past.
Well, they play Memphis at home on December 31st. Then they go on the road against Memphis
How many people are watching, man?
January 19th in Memphis.
I want you guys to join the conversation, guys.
Yeah. So what game... Yeah, Zebo goes back home.
Zebo goes back home.
Do they retire his jersey?
Vince Carter goes back.
Yeah, do they retire? Dave Yeager goes back again?
I think they just say, you know what, slap him on the wrist. You did something silly. You're in California. It's legal. We're still going to retire your jersey, Zebo. You're the man. We love your blue-collar mentality. They definitely retire his jersey in Memphis.
It's going to be interesting in Memphis, too, what that team's going to look like. But also, it's going to be a fun NBA season, I think. It's just going to be a lot of great games and a lot of we don't know what's going to happen with Carmelo Anthony before the season or what's going to be. There's going to be a big trade. Kyrie and LeBron still. That's going to be a fun storyline. But is there any other team that stands out to you?
Well, again, I think the Oklahoma City Thunder are very interesting in the West. Paul George will have a huge decision.
Yeah.
If they win this year, he might stay.
Yeah.
But again, I don't see how he doesn't end up in LA next year playing with Lonzo Ball and LeBron going over there. So you're going to have LeBron, PG, Lonzo Ball. It's going to be a great nucleus. It's going to be fun to watch, man.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome season this upcoming year. And I think it's going to be interesting to see.
What are people saying, E-Man?
Oh, there's breaking news.
Oh, breaking news? What's that say?
What does it say?
Oh, okay. The 2001-2002 Sacramento Kings are heading to NBA 2K18 as one of the 16 new classic teams. Oh, my gosh. I think that was one of the big, mistakes from NBA 2K17, not having the 01-02 Kings. I mean, this team was Showtime.
Yeah.
Long overdue, guys. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you.
Thank you for giving us the breaking news.
Yeah.
So that's been a Cowbell Kingdom exclusive.
Exclusive right there, baby. But what are people saying though on the text line?
Is there any game on the schedule that they're interested in?
Well, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Let me go to my computer. Hold on 1 second.
I'm gonna let Dustin look up what because I want you guys to join the conversation. And for the people that are gonna listen to this on Audio Boom, iTunes, bear with us, guys. But yeah, I want to talk about going back to De'Aaron Fox and his maturity. I mentioned this on the last podcast, or it was a live stream the day after the podcast here at KXVS. He said if De'Aaron Fox can somehow consistently knock down a shot, he's going to be one of the best players in the league, if not the best player in the league, because nobody has his speed. I think he's the fastest player in the league right now, period. From side to side, I think he's faster than John Wall. I think he's going to be faster than John Wall if he's not already. So expect great things from De'Aaron Fox, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun season for him. I think.
What are people saying?
Well, excuse me.
Say anything?
They're not really saying. Oh,
no?
Not.
They're not?
Not yet. Where are the fans at? There's 5 people watching, so it's 3 o'clock at work. Come on, put your headphones on at work and listen to us and watch us. But
we got to go back to 7 o'clock.
We will be going back to 7 o'clock real soon because it's been busy for me, hectic schedule-wise.
Off season, guys.
I'm going back to school this upcoming week, so it's going to be interesting. So I could do more nights upcoming, hopefully. I'll be also doing some local sports around here. You can hear my voice.
So we're going to start doing local sports. There's a sports section coming out on 92.1, right?
I don't want to officially announce it, but I'm working on some stuff. Okay. But Cowboy Kingdom will be helping out me with that.
Absolutely, guys. So, again, this station will be covering local sports in Stockton. If you guys want us to cover sports in Sacramento,
we'll have Kings coverage too.
Let us know, guys. Let us know. But for the most part, I think we covered everything. We covered
every big news. It's kind of the dead season as we've been talking about on this podcast. No breaking news.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
World team.
Okay, so the world team again. We published an article talking about how the Kings could potentially be that, but I said this to some responses on Facebook. I said, obviously, for the Kings to be a world's team, they have to win games.
Yeah.
They have to get back on track. And if they can somehow reach a top 5 status in the West and continue to for these international players to play well and get a little bit more of them, they can definitely become the world's team because they have a lot of fan bases from a lot of different countries, right?
Yeah, and the NBA is becoming more international.
It's global, baby.
It is global.
They just played a game in Africa.
Yeah, the African games, I believe.
Yeah, it was a 2017 NBA Africa game where they had the world against Africa players, African players.
In South Africa.
Yeah.
Dirk Nowitzki was one of the main guys involved helping with that. And
you had Imani Mourier going back after 16 years. His family fled at the age of 5. There's a lot of turbulence out there, lots of violent stuff out there, and he went back to help out the community. He met his grandfather for the first time.
Wow.
So a lot of good things anytime you can go back. And I said this in Social Buzz episode number 2 on the YouTube channel, that the NBA should play a regular season game in Africa and in India because those audiences are salivating to really root for a team. And if the Kings can somehow, get it together and really take their team and another team to agree to it to play over there, that'll be great, man. Every single year.
Yeah, it's outstanding. It's outstanding.
It's a chance to connect
and
to the larger global audience.
That's what David Stern's goal was as the commissioner of the NBA, and then now Adam Silver's continuing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also great for people that are basically show new sports who have never seen what's a basketball. We're used to soccer balls.
Yep.
So
soccer's
a big sport in that area of the world, and so they play soccer, but more and more basketball players are coming out of Africa and other countries in that area, and it's growing more and more and more, and it's becoming a personalized game.
Biombo, Luol Deng, they're big-time players in the league, and they always tend to go back and give back. If Imani Mourier can become a decent player in this league, another player that can give back to his country, it's great storylines, man.
Yeah.
Like Buddy Hield, Scalabrine going back to the Bahamas and Haiti, respectively. That's great to watch.
And more players are coming off the islands.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. Dominican players also. So it's growing all around the world, as you said, and we're getting more players from Asia and Africa and Europe, and even more players from Canada too.
Mm-hmm.
So because Canada was never a powerhouse in basketball, but it's becoming one because of the great players. So it's interesting to see what the NBA is doing to market itself around the world, and it's great to them showing personality finally. David Stern, I think, kind of took a little bit of personality away. Adam Silver's like, here you go, have fun, just don't be an idiot, basically. Yeah. So it's fun to always talking about basketball with you, Leo.
Is there any other topics, E-Man, that you want
to breaking news
us to cover? Any breaking news before we end this show?
Oh, NBA Live and 2K. I don't know if you saw the NBA Live. I saw some ESPN or something doing Sports Center, I believe, on NBA Live. Or
yeah, so NBA Live, they're gonna, or they're not going to.
In career mode.
They already inserted First Take with Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, that's what
and
it is.
Max Kellerman. I experienced it last night. I downloaded the demo. It's available for Xbox and PS4. I loved it. The first game was literally Steph Curry, James Harden, Paul George, Kevin Durant, and Anthony Davis. And I played against Kyrie, Russell Westbrook, LeBron, the Greek Freak, and DeMarcus Cousins. Like, that's a great 5-on-5.
So
great.
What's the career mode about?
So the career mode, I'm playing in the Drew League in Venice Beach at a Rucker Park. I played at Venice and I played at Rucker. I won in Rucker, but I lost, and I made myself, and I was balling out there. You know me. But y'all can face us, and we'll be doing a lot of more events with Wimser, so we can collaborate a lot more with local communities around us, but really engage with the fans. I want to play with you guys on the court. It's gonna be great. I want to see if you guys got skills. E-Man's going to be out there balling as well, getting crossed by me every single time. But I'm just saying, and he's laughing out here, but he plays good defense.
You the Dennis Rodman?
Yeah, he's like Dennis Rodman with the Lake, man. But yeah, guys, we hope you guys enjoyed the show.
It's been a short one. It's kind of hard.
It's been short, but it's okay though.
It's been these dead months. There's kind of some topics that you're like, okay.
This month is dead.
Yeah.
And last week it was alive because of what Zebo did, but. Those are like not good things to like talk about.
And training camp's upcoming very, very soon.
Very
excited
soon.
About that?
I'm so excited, man.
Anything you're looking forward to about that?
Yes. Bogdan versus Buddy at the 2-guard position. I can't wait to watch that because they're gonna have great battles. Next week, if we don't have a podcast sooner, I want to talk about positions.
Okay, that's
battle positions, point guards,
depth chart, probably.
Shooting guards, depth chart, the whole thing. We'll go over it in detail. So stay tuned for that, guys. Again, thank you guys so much on behalf of the entire team. I thank E-Man, Dustin, everybody that contributes. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
man.
on this episode of Cowbell Kingdom Podcast 304, we learned Otto Porter is not a king.
He's not.
Nope.
He's not.
That was fake news.
Yeah, fake news. Hashtag that.
Hashtag.
Oh.
Also, we learned that the Kings are in 2K, the 2001-2002 team now.
That's great.
Breaking news. Thanks,
That's great. Thanks, E-Man.
Frontline coverage is always
There you go.
Kingdom.
There you go.
We also learned that LeBron and Kyrie have a video out. That's pretty funny.
It's hilarious. Watch it. We
Leo,
played it
tweet
here.
out the link after the show. It's great music. It's to Eminem's Stand.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a great song. And Brian Windhurst got CC'd in the email, I guess. I didn't know
that. He did.
News.
Oh, my gosh. Shout out to Brian, man.
Yeah.
Newsbreaker out there.
And also Stephen A. Smith. But Leo, it's been fun. Episode 304. Thanks again for E-Man. Next week, we shall return with some more Frontline Kings coverage.
That's right, baby.
And remember one thing. Let's go, Kings.